Spend the summer with CKVR. Join us Friday nights for comedy and adventure. First, it's Silver Spoons at 6. Followed by the Jeffersons at 6:30. Then at 7, Cagney and Lacey hit the streets of the Big Apple.
Don't move. We're the police. You're surrounded.
Followed by Hardcastle and McCormick at 8.
That's what I needed. I don't think I could have made it past noon without hearing some clarinet music.
Summer television at its best on CKVR. Spend the summer with CKVR. Saturday nights at 6, be watching for Marshal Matt Dillon on Gunsmoke. Fast-paced classic Western adventure.
You knew I was Marshal of Dodge. You should have stayed out of Ford County.
Then at 7, join the students at the High School of the Performing Arts on Fame. We're doing it for you all summer long on CKVR.
The Pat Sajak Show, tomorrow night on the stereo CHEX TV 12. Instead,
everybody, this is Ted Husing, about to report on recent developments in the field of electronic transmission. That's television to you guys and gals. Now, if you want the real scientific lowdown, you'll have to contact a television engineer. But if you'd like to find out what may happen when this newest marvel of science is everywhere, just as the radio is today, then stick around a while. Now, the principal advantage television has over radio is that the performer can be seen as well as heard. We've all listened to radio announcers like this.
this is Lionel Tigerheart, the voice of health and vigor. Do you, too, want to be a He-Man?
Sounds very fine. But let's look into the radio broadcasting studio and see what this fellow looks like.
Do you crave rippling muscles, tremendous energy? Do you wish to attract the opposite sex? Then do as I do. Use Vital Vitamins.
That kind of thing may be okay for the ears of the nation, but it won't be so good if the eyes have it too. Now let's visit a television studio and see what... Say, look who's here. It's our old friend, Lanny Ross. He's made a name for himself in motion pictures, radio, and here he's going to be televised. They need plenty of lights just as they do for a movie camera. Only with television, Lanny's image and voice are not put on film. They're miraculously transformed into electrical impulses and sent through the air. Supervising from the control room, Alan B. Dumont himself, one of the great names in this new field. Let's watch.
Our love was fated, you were created just for me. And so if ever we're separated, I will be faithful forever.
And in the television receiver, the electrical impulses are changed back into Lanny Ross, his image and his voice.
I'm true. Remember that.
Look at those bridge players. If that were a radio, they'd still be playing cards. But with television where you not only listen but also watch, well, what chance has bridge got? And what about working hours? In the good old days of radio, we could listen and do something else at the same time.
We may be apart now and then,
But from now on, it's going to be different.
My heart till you're in my arms again. Faithful forever, I promise to be. So always have faith in me.
You know, television is going to get around more than radio ever did. For example, radio never went to the movies. But television, well, take this screen you people are looking at right now. This picture of me was made weeks ago. Even the newsreels normally are a day or so old. But sooner than you think, right from the same seats you now occupy, you're going to see great events, when they actually happen, as they actually happen, brought to you by television. No longer will you have to stay home from the movies just to hear what's going on in the world. Come to the movies to hear and to see classics in the realm of sport, televised right on the spot, and placed before your eyes in this very theater. Public speeches that affect the entire nation.
We cannot remain quiet. Here is a situation that calls for action on the part of everyone within hearing of my voice, within sight of this platform.
Momentous events, history in the making. And you'll be right there in the middle of it all. And crime prevention. Certainly the police will be able to make good use of television. Perhaps in your own home some evening.
This is the City Detective Bureau broadcasting and telecasting today's list of wanted persons. First, for stealing automobiles. Call a policeman if you see a face like this. This man is about 5 feet 5 inches tall, weight about 150 pounds. Next, wanted for shoplifting. A young woman. She has a record in 10 cities. Here's her picture. 5 feet 4 inches, weight 122 pounds. And now we're going to show you a very dangerous criminal, a desperate character, vicious and violent when cornered. Notify the police immediately if you see this face. He is wanted for murder. That is all.
That is plenty. And it's just one of the possibilities in television. Oh, there's a flock of others. Imagine what could happen to program interludes. All the various station announcements. Maybe they'd go something like this.
When you hear the sound of the musical note, it will be exactly 8 seconds after 9 p.m.
And now let's consider what may happen when the television spotlight sweeps over Hollywood. Here's a real gold mine of television talent. People with rich backgrounds in radio, and who are also at home before the camera. What will they bring to this new medium? Well, let's get some reactions from typical Hollywood stars. First, Bob Burns.
Well, I'll tell you what I think about television. I think it's got its good points and its bad points. Now, for one thing, it's going to disillusion a whole lot of people. For instance, I bet you people didn't have any idea I was so pretty. But now, on the other hand, it's going to make you folks appreciate some of the better things in life. Now, for instance, you take this bazooka. Now, heretofore, you've only been able to hear its dulcet, pear-shaped tones. But now you'll not only be able to hear those beautiful tones, but you'll be able to see it in all its beauty. Now, just listen to this.
Television bedtime story hour may mean a new role for versatile Akim Tamirov.
Tonight we have a nice little story about Robert the rat and how he murdered the 3 blind mice with his long, sharp knife.
And imagine you're setting up exercises, taking them every morning with some Hollywood beauty.
Good morning, everybody. Come on now, everybody up. First exercise. Everybody ready? All right, here we go. 1, 2.
Say, television certainly is going to be a big improvement over radio. Right, Bob Hope?
Yes, sir. Television should be a big improvement over radio. Take advertising. On the radio, they have to interrupt the program to let the sponsor talk about his product. But with television, the performer can go right on with his act like this. Oh, thanks for the memory of rainy afternoons, swingy Harlem tunes, motor trips and burning lips and burning toast and prunes. How lovely it was. Thanks for the memory.
Simple, isn't it?
No?
Well, seriously, folks, we've been doing a lot of kidding about television. But there's no kidding about the fact that television is really big and getting bigger by the hour. It won't be long now before receivers will be commonplace everywhere. Telecasting studios, familiar to us all. Millions of dollars have already been spent on the development of this new art. Programs are being telecast right now. Yes, it's a real factor in the entertainment world today and becoming more and more important. Well, here we are at the end of our television preview. So long, folks. I'll be seeing you, or rather, I hope you'll be seeing me.
Each weeknight on CBN, the laughs are on us on Comedy Tonight. Back-to-back comedy with the best from the past, including The Jack Benny Show, Bachelor Father with John Forsythe, Life of Riley with William Bendix, and Gale Storm and My Little Margie. All-night comedy, beginning at midnight Eastern weeknights on CBN.
Okay, so we've got Sergeant Bilko coming up. And last week when we showed Bilko, I read this, and I should read it again, and I should thank Vincent McCarty, who sent this letter. I find it difficult watching Sergeant Bilko now. Can't you do something for him? Because this article was in the newspaper. Let me read you a bit of it. Comedian Phil Silvers is fighting a desperate battle to overcome the conviction that he has been rejected by show business, Hollywood insiders say. He'd been, through the 50s and 60s, he's been finding work increasingly hard to come by. Finally, he checked himself into a mental ward at Cedars of Sinai Hospital in Hollywood and told other patients, I couldn't bear to be alone anymore. Fellow patients say he spends most of his day watching reruns of Bilko shows on a video player. Said another patient that he's a very lonely, depressed man, etc. Anyway, we got the address of Cedars of Sinai Hospital. So if you get yourself a pen or a pencil, or if you can remember that, at least remember Cedars of Sinai Hospital, but write it down. And a postcard or anything would be really nice. And say you watch it here on the All Night Show, or say whatever you want. But say, hey, do you watch it and enjoy it? Of course, don't send them letters if you don't enjoy it, and fun them out. Make them happy, and then you feel better, and you do more funny things and make you laugh. So anyway, meanwhile, enjoy the comic artistry of a man who shouldn't be there, because he shouldn't be depressed.